Imagine this. People look at you, and without saying a single word, they feel it. They feel the weight of your presence, the sharpness of your gaze, the strength of your mind. A mind so disciplined, so unshakable, that it doesn't just impress, it terrifies. Have you ever wondered why some individuals walk into a room and instantly command respect, while others fade into the background? It's not luck. It's not fate. It's the result of constructing a mind like a fortress, a weapon sharper than any blade, a tool more powerful than wealth or status. Today, we're diving into the psychology of building such a mind Machiavelli himself would envy, a mind that makes people hesitate before challenging you. Now, let's get one thing clear. This is not about being cruel, arrogant, or manipulative for the sake of it. This is about strength. Mental strength so intense that people second-guess their words around you. It's about creating a presence so commanding that others instinctively recognize they are dealing with someone who cannot be broken, fooled, or controlled. But how do you build such a mind? How do you rise above the chaos of mediocrity and weakness that drowns most people? The answer lies in discipline, control, knowledge, and a ruthless honesty with yourself. The first step is awareness. Most people wander through life blind, prisoners of their own impulses and emotions. They react without thinking. Someone insults them. They explode in anger. Someone ignores them. They collapse in insecurity. They are puppets, strings pulled by anyone clever enough to push their buttons. If you want a mind that terrifies people, you must cut those strings. You must see yourself as you truly are. Your strengths, your flaws, your insecurities, and face them without flinching. Self-awareness is the foundation of all strength, because without it, you are nothing but a slave to emotion. But awareness alone is not enough. You must train your mind like a soldier trains for war. Every day, you must push it, discipline it, harden it. Stop indulging in every little comfort, every distraction, every excuse. Weak people run from discomfort. Strong minds hunt it. Machiavelli wrote that fortune favors those who are bold, those who act when others hesitate. Boldness requires training. Begin by denying yourself unnecessary comforts. Wake up earlier than you want. Push your body through exercise when it begs you to quit. Study when your mind screams for entertainment. Each time you deny weakness, your mind grows sharper. Each time you endure discomfort, your mind grows stronger. Pain becomes fuel. Discomfort becomes proof of your control. Control. This is the heart of true power. The man or woman who cannot control themselves will never control others. Your emotions must serve you, not rule you. When people expect you to get angry, stay calm. When they expect you to panic, remain composed. The moment you show that your emotions cannot be manipulated, you become untouchable. People fear what they cannot predict, and nothing is more unpredictable than a mind that refuses to be enslaved by impulse. Imagine someone insulting you, expecting to see your face twist in rage, only to be met with silence and a steady, piercing gaze. That silence, that restraint, terrifies more than any outburst could. Knowledge is your next weapon. A strong mind is a library of information, strategy, and understanding. Machiavelli understood that those who read the world correctly, who see through appearances, control it. You must learn to read people like open books. Study their body language, their tone, their insecurities. Most people reveal more than they realize, and a strong mind uses this to its advantage. But knowledge is not just about others. It is about yourself and the world around you. Read constantly. not just for entertainment, but for strategy. History, psychology, philosophy, human behavior, these are the weapons of the mental warrior. When you speak, let your words be rooted in knowledge so deep that people feel the weight of your intelligence. This creates awe, and awe creates fear. But beware, knowledge without confidence is useless. You must project certainty. People don't follow the smartest person in the room. They follow the one who seems most certain. If you hesitate, they doubt you. If you speak with authority, they believe you. A strong mind does not just know. It radiates confidence in what it knows. Combine knowledge with presence, and you become magnetic, untouchable. Now let's talk about something most people never master: patience. In a world obsessed with speed, with instant gratification, the one who can wait always holds the power. People rush into arguments, rush into decisions, rush into traps set by others. A strong mind waits, watches, observes, like a predator in the shadows, patient until the exact moment to strike. Imagine your rivals burning themselves out with impulsive actions, while you conserve your energy, your resources, your words until the perfect opportunity. When you finally move, it feels inevitable, unstoppable. This terrifies people, because they realize you are not like them. You cannot be rushed. You cannot be pressured. You move on your own terms. Another pillar of a terrifying mind is independence. Most people are desperate for approval. They need validation, attention, recognition. This makes them weak, because anyone who can give or withhold approval controls them. But when you no longer crave validation, when you stand independent, you become dangerous. People notice when you don't beg for their attention. They notice when their opinion of you means nothing. This unsettles them, because it makes you free. And freedom is frightening. A free mind cannot be bribed, blackmailed, or coerced. It acts with reason, not desperation. And here is the most brutal truth. If you want a mind that terrifies, you must embrace solitude. Great minds are forged in silence, in time alone with thoughts that others are too afraid to face. Most people drown themselves in noise, social media, gossip, constant chatter, because silence forces them to face their weaknesses. But solitude is where you sharpen your mind like a blade. It is where you reflect, strategize, plan. Alone, you confront your fears. Alone, you break them. And when you emerge from solitude, you carry an aura of depth that shallow minds cannot comprehend. People fear depth because it exposes their own emptiness. Now let's add one more layer: unpredictability. People fear what they cannot read. If you are always the same, always predictable, you become boring, easy to control. But when you act with calculated unpredictability, you keep everyone on edge. Never let people fully understand you. Speak less than you know. Reveal less than you feel. Keep them guessing. When people cannot place you, cannot predict you, they fear making a move against you. Machiavelli himself warned against being too predictable, because predictability is vulnerability. But none of this matters if you lack one thing: resilience. Life will test you. People will betray you, insult you, underestimate you. A weak mind collapses under pressure. A strong mind absorbs the blows, learns from them, and rises stronger. Imagine being betrayed, and instead of falling into despair, you treat it as a lesson in human nature. Imagine failing, and instead of breaking, you adapt, evolve, grow sharper. Each scar becomes armor. Each defeat becomes experience. People fear resilience because they cannot break you, and what cannot be broken becomes a legend. Let's connect all of this. A mind that terrifies people is built on awareness, discipline, control, knowledge, patience, independence, solitude, unpredictability, and resilience. Put these together, and you become someone untouchable, someone people respect and fear without even fully understanding why. You radiate an aura that says, "I cannot be manipulated. I cannot be controlled. I am not like the rest." And that aura, more than power, more than wealth, more than status, is what terrifies people most. So now the question is, are you willing to build this mind? Are you willing to strip away the comforts, face the silence, confront your flaws, endure discomfort, and rise above the masses? Because, make no mistake, this is not the easy path. The easy path is weakness. The easy path is mediocrity. But if you choose the harder road, the road of self-discipline and ruthless honesty, you will create a mind so strong, so sharp, that people will feel it before you even speak. They will sense it, they will fear it, and they will respect it. Imagine this. The foundation has been laid. You now understand the pillars of awareness, discipline, control, knowledge, patience, independence, solitude, unpredictability, and resilience. But knowing them is not enough. The terrifying mind is not built in theory. It is built in practice, through relentless application. This is where most people fail. They hear the wisdom. They nod. They feel inspired for a moment. And then they return to their distractions. That is why most people remain weak. To truly terrify others with the strength of your mind, you must embody these principles until they become your nature. And this embodiment requires rituals, strategies, and habits that transform you from ordinary to extraordinary. Let's begin with daily rituals. Your day must become a training ground for mental fortitude. The average person wakes up seeking comfort, checking their phone, drowning themselves in noise before the mind has even woken up. You must be different. Begin your mornings with silence. No distractions, no chaos. Just you and your mind. Sit in stillness. Observe your thoughts. Confront them. Meditation is not weakness. It is sharpening. It is how you separate yourself from the endless chatter that enslaves others. 15 minutes of stillness every morning builds a mind that cannot be shaken by the storms of the day. Silence, discipline, focus. This is how you start to create that terrifying presence. After silence, you must train the body. Why? Because the body and mind are not separate. They are one. A weak body drags the mind into weakness. A strong body fuels the mind with energy, confidence, and resilience. Do not underestimate how much respect and fear people give to someone who clearly has control over themselves physically. Exercise every day. Not for vanity, but for dominance over weakness. Push yourself until your muscles scream, until your body wants to quit. And then go one step further. That is where the terrifying mind is forged. In the refusal to quit when everything inside you begs for relief. Now, let's talk about knowledge acquisition. You cannot rely on your instincts alone. Your instincts are sharpened by what you feed your brain. Weak minds feed on entertainment, gossip, and shallow distractions. Strong minds feed on knowledge that elevates them above the herd. Create a reading strategy. Philosophy to give you depth. Psychology to give you insight. History to give you perspective. And strategy to give you power. Read not as a passive consumer, but as a predator seeking tools. Every book you consume should sharpen your ability to understand and influence the world. Take notes, reflect, apply. Knowledge unused is dead weight. Knowledge applied is power. But do not just read. Observe. People reveal themselves constantly, and yet most are too blind to see. Train your eyes to watch body language. Watch how people respond under pressure. Listen not just to their words, but to their hesitations, their slips, their tone. Everyone wears a mask, but every mask has cracks. The terrifying mind is the one that sees through those cracks, the one that knows what others try desperately to hide. When people realize you can read them better than they can read themselves, they fear you. That fear is not loud, but silent. It lingers in their hesitation, their nervous laughter, their avoidance of direct confrontation. But awareness of others is not enough. You must master communication. Words are your weapons, and like all weapons, they must be wielded with precision. Speak less than you think. Each word you release should have weight, should strike with purpose. The weak flood conversations with noise, seeking validation, desperate to be heard. The strong mind listens, waits, and then speaks with authority. And when you speak, do not hedge, do not doubt, do not soften. Speak with conviction, even if you are wrong, for conviction terrifies more than correctness. People trust confidence. They fear certainty that they cannot match. Train your voice. Steady, calm, unhurried. Never rush. Rushing betrays insecurity. Slowness, steadiness, control. These are the marks of power. Another strategy. Control your environment. Most people live in chaos, clutter, distractions everywhere. A strong mind creates order. Your environment should reflect your discipline. Keep it clean, organized, purposeful. Every item around you should serve a function. When people enter your space, they should feel the weight of order, of control. It sends a message. This person is not ordinary. They are precise, disciplined, intentional. The smallest details, your clothes, your posture, your eye contact, all of it contributes to the aura of strength. Remember, people are always watching, always judging. Your environment and appearance are silent signals of your mental power. Now let's dive deeper into emotional control. It is easy to say, stay calm, but much harder to embody it when chaos erupts. The terrifying mind does not avoid emotions. It masters them. Anger, fear, sadness, these are tools, not chains. Anger can be channeled into determination. Fear can sharpen awareness. Sadness can deepen understanding. But never let them consume you. Practice detachment. When something happens, step back mentally. Observe your own reaction before you act. Create a gap between stimulus and response. That gap is where control lives. And when you control your response, you control the situation. People expect explosions, breakdowns, rash decisions. When you deny them that, when you remain composed, they feel powerless against you. But emotional control also requires boundaries. Weak people allow others to invade their space, drain their energy, dictate their mood. You must protect your mental fortress. Say no often. Walk away from toxic people without hesitation. Cut ties with anyone who feeds on your strength but offers nothing in return. This ruthlessness is necessary. Machiavelli himself wrote that a leader must not fear being cruel when cruelty is necessary. Protecting your mind sometimes requires cutting without mercy. And when people realize you cannot be manipulated by guilt, shame, or emotional blackmail, they become wary of you, because they know you cannot be controlled. Patience, as we touched before, must now be trained deliberately. Create situations where you force yourself to wait. Delay gratification intentionally. For example, Resist the urge to check your phone when a message arrives. Wait an hour, then respond. Train yourself to sit in boredom without reaching for distraction. These small acts of patience build immense control over time. And when life presents bigger tests, betrayals, opportunities, conflicts, you will have the mental muscle to wait for the perfect moment. This patience unnerves people because they cannot understand it. They cannot predict someone who refuses to be rushed. Unpredictability, too, must be practiced. Do not let people build a clear map of your mind. Change routines occasionally. Surprise others with your decisions. Keep your long-term strategies hidden. Never reveal your full hand, even to those close to you. People fear mystery, and mystery makes them cautious. If they cannot anticipate your next move, they cannot undermine you. But remember, unpredictability must be controlled, not random. It is not chaos. It is strategy. Every unexpected action should serve a purpose. Resilience is the final test, and it can only be forged through struggle. You cannot build a terrifying mind by avoiding hardship. You must face challenges that stretch you, that bruise you, that break you temporarily. And when you rise, scarred but stronger, people see it. They respect it. They fear it. Most people collapse under pressure. When you endure, you become a symbol of strength. Seek challenges intentionally. Place yourself in difficult situations. Volunteer for the hard tasks. Embrace failure as training. Resilience is not built in comfort. It is built in fire. The more fire you walk through, the more untouchable you become. Now, let's look at the social impact of this terrifying mind. People will treat you differently. They will hesitate before speaking to you. They will measure their words carefully, unsure of how you might respond. They will respect you even if they dislike you. Some will envy you, others will admire you, but all will sense something unusual, something they cannot easily define. This is the aura of power. But with it comes responsibility. You must choose how to use it. Will you use this terrifying mind to dominate others, or to protect yourself and those you care about? Machiavelli would argue that power must be wielded with calculation, not wasted on sentimentality. A terrifying mind without purpose is dangerous to itself. A terrifying mind with purpose is unstoppable. Purpose is the glue that holds all of this together. Why build such a mind? If your only answer is ego, then eventually you will collapse. Ego is fragile. But if your answer is greater, freedom, legacy, protection, influence, then your strength has meaning. Purpose gives direction to your discipline, your knowledge, your resilience. Without purpose, strength rots into arrogance. With purpose, strength becomes destiny. Let me leave you with this thought. The mind you are building is rare. Most people will never attempt it. They are too comfortable, too distracted, too weak to face the silence, the discipline, the solitude. But you are different, or you would not be listening now. You are already on the path. Each day you choose discipline over comfort, awareness over blindness, patience over haste, resilience over collapse. You step closer to becoming the person others cannot ignore, the person they respect, the person they fear. And when your mind reaches that level, when your presence alone silences the room, you will know you have become the kind of person Machiavelli admired, the one with a mind so strong it terrifies people. The terrifying mind is not a trophy to display. It is a force to wield. By now, you have built the habits, cultivated the awareness, and embodied the discipline necessary to rise above mediocrity. Yet the true test of such a mind is not found in solitude alone, but in the battlefield of life, where every interaction, every challenge, every decision is a chance to reveal your strength, or to expose weakness. This is where the terrifying mind transforms from theory into power. Let us start with conflict. Most people dread conflict because it threatens their fragile sense of control. But you, with a fortified mind, must see conflict as opportunity. When others lose composure, you remain calm. When they lash out emotionally, you strike surgically with logic, clarity, and restraint. Understand this: the one who controls their emotions in conflict controls the battlefield. Do not fight every battle. Choose strategically. Sometimes the most terrifying response is silence. Other times, it is precision, a single phrase, a calculated action that dismantles your opponent without effort. Machiavelli taught that it is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Fear is sustained when people know you are not reckless, but deliberate, and that crossing you has consequences. Now, consider influence. A terrifying mind is not just a shield, it is a magnet. People are drawn to strength, even if they resent it. They admire conviction, discipline, and authority, because deep down they wish they possessed it themselves. Use this wisely. Build alliances, but never dependencies. Help others when it serves your greater purpose, but never let them think they own you. Your independence must remain clear. Influence is strongest when it feels voluntary, when people choose to follow you because your presence overwhelms their doubts. Speak less, listen more, and when you finally reveal your opinion, let it strike like thunder. Measured, undeniable, unforgettable. But power attracts opposition. People will envy you, plot against you, whisper about you behind closed doors. This is not a weakness of yours, it is proof of your impact. The terrifying mind must be ready for betrayal, ready for disloyalty, ready for the petty games of the insecure. Expect them, anticipate them, prepare for them. The weak collapse when betrayed, the strong use betrayal as confirmation that they are feared. Never give enemies more attention than they deserve. Do not respond with desperation. Respond with strategy. Sometimes you crush them openly to send a message. Other times, you let them destroy themselves while you stand still. Remember, the wolf does not chase every barking dog. Let us dive deeper into strategy itself. The terrifying mind is always playing a longer game than others realize. Most people seek short-term wins, quick validation, immediate gratification. You must think in years, decades, even generations. Where do you want your influence to reach? What legacy do you want to leave? Machiavelli understood that rulers who thought only of the present lost their power quickly. Those who thought ahead, who prepared for storms before the clouds formed, endured. Apply this to your own life. Anticipate obstacles. Anticipate betrayals. Anticipate opportunities. When the time comes, you will not be surprised. You will be ready. And readiness terrifies because it means you cannot be caught off guard. This brings us to leadership. Whether you seek to lead nations, companies, families, or simply yourself, leadership is the ultimate expression of a strong mind. But leadership is not about titles. It is about command. The terrifying leader does not beg for loyalty. They earn it through strength, consistency, and vision. They reward the loyal, punish the treacherous, and remain unwavering in their decisions. But most importantly, they embody what others aspire to. People will follow you not just because they fear you, but because they sense you can guide them through chaos. And here lies the paradox. The terrifying mind, though feared, often becomes deeply respected, even loved, precisely because it represents security in a world of weakness. But leadership requires balance. Too much fear, and people plot against you. Too much love, and people take advantage of you. The terrifying mind walks the razor's edge between the two. Sometimes you must show mercy to remind people you are not a tyrant. Other times, you must be ruthless to remind them you are not weak. This balance is an art. Lean too far into cruelty, and your reign will be short. Lean too far into softness, and you will be devoured. Balance strength with fairness, discipline with vision, power with wisdom. Now, let us address legacy. The terrifying mind must live not only for the present, but also for the future. What story will be told about you when you are gone? Will you be remembered as someone ordinary, easily forgotten, or as someone whose presence left a mark on every soul encountered? Legacy is built not by chance, but by deliberate action. Every choice you make, every boundary you set, every word you speak, becomes a thread in the story of who you are. Legacy is not about perfection. It is about impact. And impact requires courage. The courage to stand apart, to resist conformity, to live with a strength so undeniable that even your silence echoes for generations. Here lies the ultimate truth. Building a mind so strong it terrifies people is not for everyone. It is lonely, demanding, and unforgiving. It requires sacrifice, discipline, and the willingness to endure what others cannot. But the reward is unmatched. While the masses live as slaves to their impulses, you walk as a master of yourself. While others fear judgment, you live free of their approval. While they crumble under pressure, you stand unshaken. That is the reward. Freedom, respect, and the quiet fear you inspire simply by existing. And yet, perhaps the greatest secret is this. The terrifying mind does not seek to terrify. It simply becomes so strong, so unshakable, so untouchable, that fear is the natural reaction of those who encounter it. You do not need to boast. You do not need to demand. Your presence speaks louder than words. People feel it in their bones when they stand before you, that this is not someone ordinary. This is someone forged in discipline, sharpened by knowledge, tempered by solitude, and unbreakable by life's storms. So now, the question falls upon you. Will you remain as you are, comfortable, predictable, forgotten? Or will you step into the fire of transformation, embracing solitude, discipline, resilience, and purpose, until your mind becomes a fortress no one can penetrate? The choice is yours, and it is not an easy one. But if you choose the path of strength, if you dedicate yourself to building a mind that commands respect and inspires fear, then you will join the rare few who rise above the herd. You will become the kind of person Machiavelli admired, the kind of person who not only survives the chaos of life, but masters it. Remember this: the terrifying mind is not built in a day. It is built in every choice you make, every battle you endure, every silence you embrace. And when at last you arrive, when people look into your eyes and falter, when your very presence unsettles them, you will know. You have achieved it. You have built a mind so strong, so unshakable, so commanding, that it terrifies people. And from that moment on, you will never again walk among the ordinary. You will walk above them, untouchable, unforgettable, and undeniably powerful.